Okay, guys, bit of a fun video today for you. I get quite a lot of people asking me when I'm out sort of playing live, when and on the videos as well, sort of direct messaging me, asking about my guitar I play for slide. So I thought I'd just give you a bit of a tour, take you through the guitar, take you through how I set it up, and maybe you'll learn something. Maybe you won't, but you know, either way, just a bit of fun. So let's go and show you the guitar. If I just grab hold of the camera, it's been guarded by Josie. There she is. Say hello, Josie. Yeah, hello, Josie. Okay, so here's the guitar. In fact, you know what? I'll leave it by Josie so you can at least look at the cool dog. This is what it is from top to bottom. There you go. It is a very, very special, very, very cool guitar. For those of you that want to know, it is a 61 Fender Strat. Not all original. I'm not claiming it to be original before anyone gets on and starts telling me how it's faked and all that sort of thing. There's the important bits are original that I call, but there are some changes to it. The changes to it are the if I can get in there, the brass nut that I've installed. Makes a big difference. You can see I mucked it up here. Where are we going? I mucked it up here, but I glued it back on. It's absolutely fine. Let's have a look what else we've got. Zooming out a little bit. The pickups as well are non-original. They are actually by a company called Slider. They're the classic 57s from Slider. Very expensive, very lovely pickups. Originally this guitar wasn't for slide, and the pickups were put in when I wanted a real vintage tone out of it. So, you know, it is what it is, but I left them in. They seem fine. And as well, I'm not certain on the body's originality. It has been resprayed. Some of the screw holes around the back have been filled in, but you know, it is what it is. But the neck is all original. To me, that's the most important thing. The majority of the wiring's original, the bridge is original. So it's just pickups really, potentially the body and the nut as well. So in terms of setting this up for slide, let me just turn it on its side, and this is the most important thing, I think. Let me just see if I can get a good view of that, and that is the action all the way down, pretty high. You'll get people on YouTube saying that you don't need a high action for slide. To be honest with you, you don't have to, but it's better if you do. And I'll tell you why, because if you don't, what you'll find is sort of on the frets here, on the lighter strings, you'll hear the fret noise if you press down too much. And okay, you know, you do get some people who are very delicate with the slide, but in general, in my opinion, they don't sound too good. So what I've done to raise the action, first of all, the most common thing and the easiest thing is, I'm just getting used to the zoom function here, so don't worry, is I've raised the saddle height. Now I had to put some different pins in there, some different screws. The trem, by the way, is locked down, so it doesn't work. Some people use it on slide, but I certainly don't. I don't use it on anything actually. So I've raised it up. It's not a specific height, it's to a height that I thought would work quite well, and it's consistent across the board to for the what is it, I believe it's a 7 point whatever it is radius neck, so it's a vintage radius. So they've all been raised pretty much to the same. They're all even, which is great. Pickups again have been adjusted to the height that I want. You have to adjust them to what they're going to be like when you press down a little bit. I actually like quite a vintage tone, so I like a good bit of distance between the strings and the pickups. It works well for me. And that's all I did to begin with. But then I was having a little bit of trouble down the bottom end here because the nut was very low. So I, from a guy over in, where is he? America, Australia? America. Makes these brass nuts. It's a really nice brass nut made to my own specification, and it just raised it by an extra millimetre at this end of here, so I've really got a nice, as you can see, there we go, really sort of nice high action here. Now the only way you wouldn't want to raise the nut here, there's Josie, out the way Jose, is if you play a lot of behind the slide fretting. I don't do any of that. There's a great guy actually, I believe he's Canadian or Australian, I know they're different, but he's one of the two, called Kirk Lorange, and that guy is outstanding, and he plays behind the slide stuff all the time. He's a real pro, so he needs a lowish action. I can still play some behind the slide stuff up here if I really want to, but to be honest, that's not really a sound that I go for anyway, so I'm not very good at it, so I don't worry about it too much. So I've raised this nut about 1 millimeter, and down here been raised quite a bit, and you know what, that is all I needed to do to set it up for slide. Obviously the strings, I've put a heavier on. The strings as well are these are 13, so I've actually got a wound third. You could get a non-wound third, but I'm happy enough with a wound third. It works fine for me. It's easy to replace them as well, as opposed to having to hunt around. These are just D'Addario XLs. They last for ages, with the slide at least. That's great. I had to do some truss rod adjustments, not up there. Well, it's down here. Some truss rod adjustments for the 13s, because this had 10s on it before when it was a regular guitar. And that's kind of it, really. It's a bit battered, as you can see. This is all genuine. It's not faked relic, for all those who will think it is. Whatever. It's not. It's a very old guitar. Like I said, this has been resprayed, but it was resprayed a long time ago, so it's it's got its little cracks on it. It's got its little whatever's on it. The back's a little bit more beat up, as you can imagine. There's a serial number for anyone who cares. 5 springs, because I don't use the trem. I've just got it really wedged tight. You could stick a block in here, but again, I don't really see the point. It's fine. It resonates and sustains as long as I need it to. Neck's nice and worn, which is how I like it. Everything is, get out the light, everything's showing the signs of age, but it's stunning to play. So why did I choose this as my slide guitar? Well, anyone who's got a vintage Strat will hopefully, that's original anyway, will hopefully see here. I'll see if I can zoom in and show you. The frets are exceptionally low. It's not that they're worn. There's no string indents or anything like that, but the frets are very, very low. Actually looks like there's some indents there, but I promise you they're not. It's just a reflection of the strings, and that makes it hard to play for me. Some people might like it, but certainly if you're doing bends on blues music, I need a bit more fret to grab hold of than that. To be honest with you, the fret wire is what I'm talking about. All there we go. The fret wires, they're just too low for me. So rather than spend a couple of £100 in getting it refretted, which I may do at one point, I thought I'll just use this as my slide guitar. It looks badass anyway. It's a really, really cool guitar, and that's that really. So yeah, hope you enjoy it. I'll give you another little pan over it, and Josie's going to come into view again. There she is, enjoying the video. You probably didn't, because it's probably quite boring, but if you did enjoy it, then great, come back soon.